Welcome to another episode on our channel. I wanted to show you what can be achieved if you really love an outfit. And I really do love this outfit. This was the first steampunk figure I actually made using a Brad Pitt head and using this particular outfit. So this is actually a Dragon and Dream. This is a German Air Force dress uniform. It came with stripes on the side, white stripes, which I separated from the material with an X-Acto knife, and shoulder boards, which were a pain to get out. So just little by little, I took the hem off from the top of the sleeve and pulled and tugged and tried to get the shoulder board off. When you get done with that process, it looks like it's a total mess. It won't go back together. There are strings coming out of one side of the sleeve and strings out of the other side of the sleeve. Just make sure you cut the strings off, and then you fold the sleeve back in, and then with a pin, literally a pin, put a little super glue on it, and try not to touch the outside of the sleeve, but try to go for the inside in strategic places. Press it together, and it will, if you're patient enough and you're steady enough, it will work, and he will look very nice. Whatever figure you put this on will look very nice in terms of like a formal outfit. I wanted to do this because I really wanted to create an old James West figure from the Wild West, which I did. And then I thought, well, I bought a ton of these outfits way back when. Why don't I use this outfit as a steampunk figure? So this is the first one I made. And it's obviously in blue. That's the color it came in. But you don't want 10 steampunk guys all in the same outfit. So we're going to pause now, and I am going to show you what I decided to do to create another steampunk figure. Let me read again, where this outfit comes from. It's DID, Dragon and Dreams, D as in dragon, 80147-3R, German Air. So it's a formal dress uniform. It's a set that comes with the short jacket as well as the long jacket, or you can just find the pants and the jacket on eBay if you look hard enough. So anyway, we'll pause now and I'll tell you what I'm trying to do, and we'll probably do this in stages, but I've got the first stage done with the generous help of my husband, because I don't have patience and he does. So we'll be right back. Now, I really love this short coat suit. And so I had my husband tape over the shirt and the vest, put this on a body, because sometimes when you do some things to the material will shrink, and it's hard then to get it on a body. So what we ended up doing, you probably should use fabric paint, but we ended up doing, because it's worked in the past for us, we use this Rust-Oleum satin protective enamel and tried to put a matte finish on it, which usually takes the sheen off. But in this particular case, the sheen was very much on, and it was not dulled at all with the other coat that we used. So my husband had to take 120 grit sandpaper and just work at it to get all the sheen off. There are a few places where we missed now that we can see in the light, but we'll come back and get that. In the back, he actually didn't need to do anything. It just, very nice. I don't know what's the difference between the back and the front, but this turned out to be very glossy, too much of a sheen, and we had to dull it with sandpaper. So your best bet, though, is fabric paint. And but we just didn't have any, and I'm too impatient. So I had him do this for me. He meticulously taped the shirt, covered the shirt with tape and the vest, and then patiently did a couple, 3 coats in terms of this outfit. And like I said, tried to put a sealer on it, which should have toned the color, the gloss down, but did not do so. And so again, sandpaper, and it has worked. So we will pause, and I'll get him out of the way, and then we'll see what's underneath this part to see if he taped it well. Anyway, we'll be right back. So here's the big reveal. And usually when he does this sort of thing, he doesn't mess up. So I'd be surprised if he did, but it's always possible. Anyway, even if it did happen, though, the clothing didn't seem to shrink. So I think we're still okay. We can get a different shirt on, a different vest on, but let's see what we have underneath. And this might take me a little bit to get all the tape off. So I used a painter's tape, and it looks like he used several layers. Oh, isn't that good? I think it's looking pretty darn good. So I just need to pull it over a little bit more. Straighten it out. The vest is a little long, so I'm going to have to kind of sew it. Otherwise, it comes out below the jacket. But I'll just put a couple of just a couple lines through it on each side to tighten it up there. But so we have this darker outfit with an inner lighter brown vest and a white shirt. So we'll pause now. It looks like everything turned out very nicely. Oh my gosh, it did. Just gonna have to take some sheen, a little bit more sheen off, but everything looks good. I'm going to have to go through and either take the paint off of the buttons of the jacket, because that would have been a pain to have taped every button, or just paint them bronze or copper or something, just to have them kind of snap out. Maybe even, I don't know if I want to go silver. I don't think so, but this is a work in progress, and we'll figure it out. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, and here is our template to work from. Whatever we do, the hands are just an awful color. They'll have to be painted, or I'll have to go to my stash and pick a set of hands that are going to work with whatever head I choose. But just to remind you, what we started out with was a DID, Dragon and Dreams, German officer, formal attire, short jacket. Had to take the white stripes off the sides of the pants, had to take the shoulder boards out from the tops of the sleeves. It was a mess until I finally figured out how to put it together, which I've already talked about. And he came together very nicely. But I don't want to use blue again, obviously, if I'm going to do another steampunk figure. And I love the outfit, so I kind of want to do one in brown. And so I showed you what we did to make this brown. It's better to use fabric paint, hands down. But one thing you can't dye these synthetic pieces of clothing. The shirts sometimes are made out of cotton, and you can stain them or dye them, but most of the time the outfits, that's a no-go. So spray paint, fabric paint, we used a different paint. It ended up being way too glossy by the time we got done, which surprised me because we really had not had that outcome happen before. So we had to take some sandpaper. My husband took sandpaper after he painted it. He has more patience than I do. After he painted it, he had to take sandpaper to take the sheen, the gloss away. And it turned out wonderful, I think. Maybe a few spots that need to be touched up here and there in terms of the shine being taken off, but overall it worked out fine. The hands, I'm probably going to repaint, like I said. These are gaiters from boots. So I just took the gaiters, put them on the ends of the sleeves because I thought they would match exceptionally well the French World War I goggles I wanted to use with this character. They look pretty good. The only thing I'm going to have to do here is tighten them up to get a more tailored look. They're just too wide. I want to get them more tailored. And the vest, actually, I folded it up. I do want to kind of sew it in place because if you let the vest rest where it needs to rest normally, it's going to come out below the short jacket. We can't have that happen. So I'm going to have to touch that up. I'm going to have to touch this up. I'm going to have to paint the hands. Then I'm going to have to figure out what head to use. So I have a couple heads in mind. This one, if I want a more older, distinguished look, I think he would be a good choice. Tap down a bit more. Okay. Oops. Ooh. There we go. Regardless, the hands are going to have to be painted or, again, find a better set of hands. So it's either going to be him or it's going to be, yeah. And I don't think I'll lose no matter which head I end up choosing, except, again, I'm going to have to paint the hands, bring these in tighter, and fix the vest, and then go to town with accessorizing. So that's going to happen in the next episode. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.